Hello friends, it's Sherry from Turquoise Dreaming. How's everyone doing today? Welcome to my channel and thank you for joining me. I want to welcome you to my weekly Thrifty Thursday video, and this is where I come to you once a week and I share with you my thrifty goodies from the past week. So this week I went to an estate sale. That's what I'm sharing with you today. And in just a second I want to share with you this real quick. I met our friend Maria from Maria's Miscellany in Florida before she moved, and I was down visiting my family when was that, October, end of October. And so she brought me a big tote bag of goodies. So Maria, my friend, when you see this, I want to see if you recognize your tote bag. I had to do something with it. I couldn't just, throw it in the closet, right? So I cut it up and made goodies with it. So this is a little bag. I just kind of made the best use I could out of the pieces. So this was the side gusset, I believe, is what I made this from. So I just cut it off and folded it up, sewed it together here and here. Was this stitch already there? It may have been, or I might have put a stitch right there. And then I stitched, I can see this is zigzag stitching. I put that there, apparently. And it's 2 layers, so I guess it might be the 2 sides from both sides. So I made 2 layers, that's what I did. Yep, I took the 2 sides and sewed them together. I did it right after we met last October, like maybe in November or something, or December or January. Probably November or December, and so it's been done for a while. I just keep forgetting to show it. So, and I sewed this little piece on here. This was the strap, and it just winds around. I have myself a little bag that I can put things in. It's kind of waterproof. It's 2 layers of that, kind of plasticky from Marshall's shopping bag. So that I made with it. So this is ideas of what you can do with a shopping bag, or any kind of little tote bag, like the ones even from Dollar Tree. I have some of those that I never have done anything with yet, but I made a little zipper pouch here, these are easy to make. This is 1 layer, so you can see it was kind of like a soft inside and a plasticky outside, and used one of the zippers I got from the many zippers I've gotten from thrift stores that I didn't want, but they're in the Sewing Notions bags, and 2 little envelopes, kind of envelope pouch things here. So just, sewed it up, folded it up, this piece. I made a little hem here and just sewed all around for decoration, stitching. And so that's one, and there's another little pouch here. And there you go. That's what I made from the tote bag, Maria. So hope you liked that. That was fun. So I went to the estate sale Saturday. I always go on Saturdays. There's a bunch of sisters that run this estate sale company, and they walked in the door and they said, grab a bag. And I said, well, I already have a tote bag. And they said, no, it's different today, because it's usually 50% off on Saturday. And they said, no, today is you fill a bag for $10. I'm like, oh, cool, yeah, give me a bag. So I'm like, it's one of those big, big paper grocery bags. I'm like, oh, I can stuff a lot of stuff in there for $10. So this is not all I got, but this is all I can show you today, because the rest of it was sewing patterns. And so I will show you those on a different day, but we need to get through this right now, because there's more here than it looks like. It doesn't look like very much, but there actually is a lot here. So I'm just going to run through it real quick and show you what I picked up for this, filled up my grocery bag with. So this is some pretty vintage wrapping paper. And this wasn't in the sewing room. I'm going to show you the things that weren't in the sewing room, like just a few things. Everything else I got from the sewing room. So there's this I got from the kitchen. If you've ever been to an estate sale, they have stuff all over the house, and you just kind of go around and explore and find things that you would like. And this house had a basement too, so there was a lot to explore. But I didn't get anything from the basement or anywhere else except for the kitchen and the sewing room. There wasn't anything else I wanted, except for there was this cool old, those cool old galvanized tubs the square ones, there was, you know, how they put them on, they were on legs and they're like like sinks or something. That was in the basement. I was like, it was $249 though. It was probably 50% off, but still I have nowhere to put it, but I just thought it was I think those are really cool. So this is a book about telephones. I don't know if it was a premium or something, or I don't know if it's a reproduction. The pages are browning and there's no date on here. I already looked, but it does say telephone almanac. Oh, excuse me. Telephone almanac for 1960. I have an alien in my throat. So anyway, I like the colors and I thought it was just cool looking old book. And I like the you know, the graphics in here. They're very retro. You know what I mean? Look at this lady and her little boy on the telephone talking to dad, probably. This lady looks very 1920s right there. They're fixing the light there. Lady looking in her long dress. Look at the old sewing machine. That would be great for my sewing journal. These people are cooking. So just all kind of cool pictures in there. And this is just a little recipe book. I like the picture and it looks so 70s, but I couldn't find a date in here, but that looks very, very 70s there. But it's just black and white, but I just like the look of it, and it's small, so I could tuck it in a pocket really even, if it'll fit in a cookbook journal. Okay, so everything else here I got from the sewing room. Everything here. So we're going to run through it. Like red rickrack, baby red rickrack, white, what is this? Hem facing. Some more white hem facing. This is a label off of this. I had opened it up to see what it looked like. So this is, you know, it's called seam binding. This one calls it, this label's from this. It calls it seam binding, and it's lace with like the base of it is white, and it has these pretty flowers on it. So that was very different. There's a few things in here that are very different from anything I've ever found as far as, you know, seam bindings and trims and things. This was very different. So yeah, the lady of the house, you know, that previously lived there was quite a sewer. She had tons of sewing patterns, and for all different people, like little girls, probably herself, some beautiful dress patterns, even a wedding dress pattern, and a menswear patterns, you know, whole suits and pants and everything. So this is pretty yellow, and it's kind of like a little kind of, see that woven or braided there? That was neat. That was different. This is, now I did recently find some pattern bias tape, but that was the first time I ever found it. Now I've found some more. This is a different flower than the other ones I found a few weeks ago. It's very pretty. And then here's a red with white polka dots one. Isn't that neat? Let's see, is this folded? Yeah, it's folded just like this bias tape. I don't remember the names of these things. So that's just, oh, I unwrapped that flowery one, that peachy flowery one. So this is a beautiful lace. It's kind of, it almost looks coffee dyed. It's kind of beige almost. And then under here is a light blue little baby rickrack. So that's cool. Here's a, you know, light burgundy baby rickrack, and this pretty trim here. See the scallop edge there is very pretty. And there's a ruffly kind of little bit of eyelet. So I think I told you everything about the estate sale except for one story I have that is about when I was in there. So when I went in, I looked around because there was a lot of people at this estate sale when I was there on Saturday morning. This is a beautiful one. Look at that pattern. Kind of very fall looking, right? But I went in and I looked around and I saw the patterns. Like there was at least 5 boxes of patterns, right? So I thought, well, there's plenty of patterns to go around here. I don't need to like go over there and like look through those right now. And plus it's going to take me a while. This is a little baggie or Ziploc bag of snaps. You know, nothing special, but just a couple of snaps. This was in there, in with the What was this in with? It was in with something in the sewing room. So it looks old, doesn't it? And it looks like it was given to them by Compliments of Home Security Life Insurance Company. So, and they never planted them. But it's old looking, so I don't know. I probably will leave it in here and use it in a journal. And then there's some needle packs. So I went in and looked at the other stuff, not the patterns first, because I wanted to see in case somebody else came in. I wanted to make sure of what was there, if there's anything really special. That's when I picked up all this stuff first before I looked at the patterns and put it in my bag, my paper bag. So here's some little needle packs. This one's tiny, so cute. And this one's blue. It looks like it was hardly opened, but very cute. It's got some like wax paper in there that's wrapped around the needles. And this one's really pretty. It's peachy. Got a little window there. Very cute. See the back? Made in West Germany. Lucky Needles. So cute. So yeah, I went in, I picked up all this stuff that I'm showing you now. And I'll show you the patterns on another day. But while I was in there, a man came in and I already see this bag right here. This was all the buttons that were in there. This was it. No other buttons were in there. Just this bag of buttons was in there. And I had already picked that up and put it in my bag. And the man came in there and he said, buttons, where's all the buttons? Of course, I didn't say anything. I already took them all. And he's like, I'm the sewer of the house. And I always look at the sewing stuff and I always look at the buttons. And I was wondering if he's really an eBay seller, but he didn't say anything about that. He just said he was the sewer of the house and that he was looking for buttons. So he looked all over and he's like, wow, there's no buttons in here. And there wasn't, because I had already got them. Thank goodness, right? He would have grabbed them. I don't know if he would have taken them because there's not really anything special in there. So, but he probably would have taken them, I think. I think maybe he was more than a sewer. I think he might have been a button collector or seller. Because why, I don't know. I just got that impression. So, this is very beautiful, isn't it? It's kind of beige and almost has a rosy tint to it. I don't know. I don't think it's my imagination, or maybe it is, but very delicate and pretty. So then there's a bag of lace. So we'll look at the buttons last. There's nothing special, just this vintage buttons, which I do like. And I can fill up my jar. And I like making those button tassels that I made, so I'll probably make some more of those. But there's a bunch of beautiful lace in here. This was all in this bag. So we'll just run through it real quick. Like there's some black. I like finding black because I don't, like whenever I have black, I seem to use it up quick. I don't know, I must like black lace. It really adds a lot to a page. Here's some more black, and this is flowers, which I love because this flower trim, of course, if you're a crafter, you can cut these and use like say 3 on the top of a tag or a journal card or a page or a pocket, or you can use the whole bunch on the side of a page, or you can use one somewhere in your, in a cluster, or you're layering, or on the cover, or whatever. They're just so, I love the flowers. I like that. Here is something special, which I always say this, I don't find tatting very much, but I believe this is tatting, and I think it's really pretty. I love this scalloped, like the way it's done. This is just, tatting always amazes me because it's so small. I don't know how they do that. If that is tatting, and I think it is. Here's a little doily that looks like, it might be finished. I'll have to undo it later. I don't want to undo it right now, but I'll undo it and maybe give it a little washing and freshen it up. It looks like it has some dust on it here. And this thread, there's a thread wrapped around it right here. So I'll undo that later and give that a little wash. It looks like it needs it. And here's some trim here. This is pretty and colorful. Lots of uses for that. The colors. And then this, this I might put in my shop because I don't think I would use this. I've never used anything like this. But, I I mean, if I really tried, I could use it, but I don't think it's really my cup of tea. So I might put this in my shop and let somebody else, if they would like to use it, you know, grab that and use it. Because I think it could be beautiful trim, and, you know, I could see it on a pocket. I mean, I could totally see it on the side of a page too. I don't think it's my style, I guess I should say. So it's not that I don't like it, it's just not my style. And, you know, I'm probably afraid of it. It's like, ah! But no, I could use it if I really wanted to. I just don't think it's my style. This is some pretty, there's 2 pieces of this pretty white lace in here. It's kind of very beautiful. And I could coffee dye that, anything white, you know, any type of white lace. Some white laces are harder to absorb, take more to absorb the coffee than others. And you might, you know, I've left them in the coffee overnight, or, you know, at least 8 hours. And then they usually it takes, I don't think I've left it like 24 hours before, but, you know, if it took 24 hours, I would leave it in there and just let it eventually soak up the coffee and get it inside the fibers, and then you have coffee dyed lace. This is pretty. I'm not sure what this was. You can see it's got like triangular patterns. Like, I have no idea. It doesn't look like it was cut from anything either. I was looking at it before the video, and see how it's got all the little kind of, you know, edges here. It's not straight like somebody cut it. So I don't know. It looks like a valance to me. I think it would make a beautiful valance, but I don't know really what it was. But I think it's very pretty, and that I can do something with this. I just love the color too. And here's some more black lace. This is all of the black now. This is a wider, you know, what is it, a couple, 2.5 inches black. Has a scallop on this. Oh, it has a scallop on both sides. So it has a little scallop over here and the bigger scallop over here, and it's floral. Very beautiful. And here's just a little piece that can go on a pocket or something. That's beautiful. And a little, almost like an eyelet, but not eyelet. Just this little piece here. Now this does look like it was cut off of something, but it's very pretty, very well worth cutting off of something. And here's a little ruffle, a little white ruffle. Here's a pretty, this is a very soft and delicate feeling. Roses and a nice edge there on either side. Very pretty. And there's a bunch of that. A bunch. Well, there's a bunch of this. Look at this one. This one's different from that, though. It's straight on one side and scalloped on the others, and it's floral. So pretty. Very pretty. And this one. So this feels like, this is a little stiffer, but very beautiful, and also could be coffee dyed. See, this feels like one that would be, take more. The softer ones, I guess. See, I don't know. I know that laces are made out of different types of cottons and polyesters maybe, and things like that. So this one feels like the type that would take longer to coffee dye, but I think it still could be done. If I coffee dye any of those, I'll have to come back and show you the results. So this is a soft, very soft one. So, and that's very pretty too, straight on one side and the little scallops here. And this is a beigey looking one, and very pretty florals, but like this one, this looks like a tulip right there. That almost looks like a, well, this is a different flower there. So very pretty. Can you see that? Very pretty. Very pretty. I wonder what she used all these laces for, you know? And this is a brown. I don't see that too often. A brown seam binding. Seam binding. If I call it by the wrong name, just ignore me. I should just call it all trim, right? And lace. Okay, this is pretty. So this is a stiffer feeling one, but not as stiff as that other one. But see, this is like a netting here, and then the floral parts. And this is so pretty. Look at all the little curly cues up there. That is really pretty. Wow. And it's kind of beigey or off-white. And then this is like a crochet piece here, and it's wide and it's very pretty. It's just beige also, very soft, and we're getting through it. This is kind of a plasticky feeling, you know, whatchamacallit. And it says, help Sears assure you of a proper fit. So a cool yellow tape measure. And I have, whenever I see what, you know, tape measures that I like, that look, maybe they've been around for a while or really old, I pick them up because I have intentions of using them in my sewing journals. So I like to use them as trims on pockets, on pages, you know, wherever, anywhere, tags, journal cards, anywhere I can put a piece of tape measure is a lot of fun for me. So the last thing is a bag of buttons, and it's just buttons. And the guy was looking for the buttons, but I had them all. So there's nothing special in here, so I probably shouldn't dump them all out, but because I already looked at them, and see, there's just, these are very old button cards. This one I thought was cool right here. These are kind of the same color almost, but this one says regulation military buttons for replacement. Right here it says for replacement underwear. I mean, underwear that has buttons. I don't know. Oh, okay. So yeah, look at this. So this says shirt, and here this is the shirt buttons. This is jacket. So she used all the jacket buttons. I guess that's just the fold. This says fly. So who knows how old these are, because, you know, buttons on the fly, that, you know, who knows when they stopped doing that in the military. But here's the buttons for the fly right here. And this says trouser. So maybe the top waistband, or I don't know, probably not the pocket. Maybe the waistband had a button. Fly had buttons. Shirt, of course, had buttons. But these look like a very similar color, so, but they're very different though. So I don't know if this was, they don't say military buttons, but they just almost look like they could have been used for something like that too, because of the color. So anyway, I have no idea, but maybe her husband was in the military. So that's interesting, right? So that was probably the most interesting thing in here. You know, there's just a lot of, yeah, let me just take a handful out. There was a few metal, but nothing special, like just little, oops, there goes one. Little, you know, that's just a plain, like, silver metal button. There are a couple washers in here. And, you know, there's a button card, but nothing special. And this was I think this was the biggest one in here, just a giant button. But it looked like there was some taken off, like a men's coat, maybe a woman's coat, like that one right there. Maybe came from a woman's coat or jacket or something. But just, you know, you can see the average, they look like the average old vintage buttons. Some taken from clothes, some from maybe, you know, other sewing projects where they're, you know, she took them off the card and then put the extras in there or whatever. So, yeah. That is it. That is my estate sale. So sometime when I can figure out how to get the, I mean, it's just a matter of stacking them up, but I'll get the patterns in here and share those with you at a later date. So, and we'll just do a quick flip through because there's a lot of them. Anyway, that's it for today. I hope you all have a great day. Hope you enjoyed my estate sale goodies. I didn't go too crazy, right? And there was a lot left in the sewing room that I didn't get, so I left some stuff for other people. So thanks for watching. Everybody have a great day. Happy thrifting and happy crafting.